What's going on, guys? HaVoC, I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 cards after the most recent updates. Now, in previous top card videos, I would have strictly gone by usage rates, but nowadays I do it a little different. A bit of usage rate, a bit of my own opinion, and of course what the community thinks as well. Also, this list is not going to be in any specific order. So yeah, number 1 is not the best, and number 10 is not the worst. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Number 10. The Witch. Lately, the Witch has picked up a bit. Pretty sure it has to do with the buff it received a while back. For only 5 elixir, it's hard to pass though. It can take care of air and ground, it deals splash damage, and it also spawns skeletons in front of her, which makes it for a great distraction. It's also the perfect card for heavy decks. For example, Golem and Giant Beatdown. 2x elixir comes around, drop the Witch behind the tank, and bam! A combo that can't be stopped. Well, obviously it can, but you know what I mean. I guess the only downside here is the Witch's light hits. Sure, it does well against light troops like minions and goblins, skeletons, but when locked onto a large tank or a tower, make sure to have a sidecar prepared to help, because it'll take a while. But overall, you should definitely give it a shot if you don't regularly use it. Pretty nice card. Number 9. The Tesla. This card got a huge buff in the most recent update, plus 30% damage. Damn. Yes, the damage increase is pretty decent, but the main reason it's here is because it can now one-shot small cards. Previously, the Tesla would struggle to defeat some of the lightest cards, and now that that's not a problem, I'm glad to see Supercell fix the problem, and I see a pretty good future for it. So yeah, after all, the Tesla is pretty beast, and I'm very excited to try it in some of my decks. Number 8. The Baby Dragon. This one is always on my top 10 or top whatever number it may be. Why? Well, the Baby Dragon is one of the most versatile cards in the entire game. Pretty much means it fits in any deck you put it in, no matter what you're running. I personally use this card in most of my decks, and it wrecks HaVoC. Get it? Because HaVoC. Yeah, anyways, for only 4 elixir, it can take out entire pushes. It can defend for quite a while because of its high HP, and also, it can aid in creating an unbeatable push to a tower. As for the flaws, I mean, there's not many besides its slow attack, but I don't see it as a problem unless it's being attacked by like 100 goblins. In that case, it will not survive. It's one of my favorite cards, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 7. The Mega Minion. It wouldn't be a top 10 without the little guy with the armor. The Mega Minion used to be one of the top used cards. It would always be like number 1 or 2 on this list, but after a few nerfs, it's gone downhill. But it doesn't mean it's a bad card, because if it's on this list, then it's, you know, among the top 10. Sure, it doesn't do as much damage and HP as other cards, but keep in mind, it only costs 3 elixir. In that case, it's very powerful for the cost. Sadly, there's not much to say about the card though. It's very basic, and, well, it only does one thing: attack. Number 6. The Hog Rider. There's no doubt that the Hog is one of the best and will always be. I mean, why would Supercell kill the Hog Rider like some other cards? Sure, it's seen some changes over the past 2 years, but nothing big. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was only like a 4% damage decrease like a year ago, which, by the way, is nothing. The reason why the Hog is used a lot is because it kind of has its own category. It's part of the game. I'm talking about Hog Cycle decks. Supercell will most likely never kill this card, so that's why it's on this list and will always be. Number 5. The Fireball. Spells never seem to die, mainly because they're spells and not a card that can ruin the game. Except for the graveyard, but that doesn't ruin the game. Anyways, back to the Fireball. It's one of the most used spells in the game, and it's obvious as to why. It deals a lot of damage, and if you level it up high enough, you can even take out entire pushes. Yeah, kids, make sure to upgrade your Fireball as high as possible. I should probably also mention that the usage rate is at 26%. Not like that matters in this video, but it's pretty cool to know that this card is in 1 out of 4 of all decks. Like, we all know what it is, we all know how to use it, and, you know, it's just, it is what it is. Number 4. The Log. This is actually the most used legendary in the game. Well, the Electro Wizard was before the update, but that's not the case anymore. The Log is very effective for such a low cost. Many people can argue that the arrows are better or the zap. To be honest, they're all good and I use all of them. But my favorite has to be the Log. The only downside, of course, is that it can't target air. It's only ground. But after using the Log for a long time, you kind of get used to it. Same cost as a zap, but it does something that the zap can't do. So yeah. Number 3. The Skeleton Army. The Skeleton Army has been either number 1 or number 2 the past few months. But since this list is not in any specific order, then just ignore what I said. I'm just saying that the Skeleton Army is pretty good, and it's always been. It's mainly because the meta has changed, and as that happens, some cards rise and others fall. But besides that, the Skeleton Army is genuinely a nice card. It can take out a whole tank in seconds, distract an entire push, and take out a whole tower when left unguarded. Well, all of that can be stopped by a zap, but let's be real here, everything in the game has an easy counter. But hey, if it made it on the list, then that means it's good. Number 2. The Zap. We just talked about zaps, how they can kill a whole skeleton push instantly. The Zap spell has been the most used spell for ages. In fact, at one point in time, it was at 60% in all decks. But that was before it got nerfed. It's very simple to use. It can reset buildings, troops, retarget things, take out small pushes. For the cost of only 2 elixir, it's hard to pass a card that does a lot. The Zap is very popular, especially for heavy decks. You don't want an Inferno Dragon or an Inferno Tower just wrecking your golem, so, make sure you have something that can reset, like a Zap spell. Or you can use the Electro Wizard, but not everyone has that, so I guess a zap in this case is better. And finally, on to number 1, we have the Knight. Like I said, this list isn't in any specific order, so no, the Knight is not the best card in the game. That would be kind of crazy, and the comments would literally roast me. But yeah, the Knight this year has seen a huge comeback. In 2016, it was beginning to fall. It wasn't dead, it was just one of those cards that nobody really cared about. But with the meta changes and balance changes, the Knight is being used more than it ever has been. It's a nice small tank, so in case you need a tank but your deck is really light, then just bring the Knight. That also means never leave it on a tower because it has a lot of HP, and towers, they can't take out a Knight by themselves fast enough, so I think that people just underestimate the Knights way too much. The Knight may just be the one winning the game for you, so definitely give it a shot. But guys, I think that should be it for the top 10 cards after the most recent updates. Of course, there are other cards that are good, but in order for them to all fit in this list, it would have to be a top 20 or 30 or something. So yeah, I really do apologize if you didn't see your favorite card on this list. Just keep in mind that we do these every so often, so you may just see it on the next one or some of my previous ones. Also, before we go, for those who want to enter my October giveaway, make sure to click the link below. It is a Gleam link. It's gonna be right there. It's for a few gift cards, so definitely get yourself entered if you want. And yeah, so I think that should be it, guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Tell me what you guys think below in the comment section. Besides YouTube, see you on the next one. Peace!